long time.
A long relationship. I don't think so much
Yes.
of marriage is a long
All right,
relationship.
a long relationship in the course of which you couldn't act. So we don't want to give you some technique of acting well that he'll later find out was a role-playing sort of thing. So you have to eventually be yourself. Now, if you really weren't so disturbed about these current failings of yours, you could go out and be this self of yours. Ask yourself, what do I really want to do with this man to help enjoy him and have him help enjoy me, because that's the basic function of life, enjoyment, which we tend to lose. And you'd force yourself to take the risk of being that, because if you succeeded, great. If you failed, too bad. Either you're not for him, or he may even not be for you. Because don't forget, you said before, when these men reject you, you assume right away it must be my doing and my fault. You know, they may not be your cup of tea, and you may not be their cup of tea, and it's nobody's fault. It's just true incompatibility.
Well, it could be, yes.
You see.
Yeah.
So if you would really accept yourself as you are, and then force yourself, and if you were one of my regular patients, I would give you this homework assignment and then check up on you to see whether you could force yourself to open your big mouth and be you for a while, even though it hurt with these males. You would find that you would start being yourself and gradually lopping off these inefficiencies, which incidentally are the result of not being you, but watching yourself from the outside while you're trying to be you, which is almost impossible, because you can't spy on yourself and still be yourself very well at the same time.
No, but it would become like a habit.
After a while, if you took the risks and forced yourself to, as I said, open your big mouth, and even though you thought maybe it'll come out badly, maybe he won't like me, maybe I'll lose him completely, and so on and so forth, then you'd start swinging in the groove and being what you want to be, and I would almost guarantee that you'd become more practiced and less inefficient, especially in terms of the shyness, because you wouldn't be focusing on, oh my God, isn't this awful how bad I am? You would be focusing on what a nice individual this is, and how can I enjoy him, which is the focus.
Well, usually my focus is
relationship.
the opposite way.
Right.
How can I be more attractive to him, and how can he be pleased by me?
Because underneath, if I am not, then I cannot enjoy myself. I refuse to accept myself unless I attract and win this good individual. Isn't that what you're basically saying?
Yes, and I even go further, Dr. Ellis. When there is one of these men I come in contact with, and I find that I want to cultivate more of a relationship. Well, if he accepts me and we're going along pretty great, I find myself constantly on the defensive, constantly watching the way I sit, not drinking too much, the whole time, instead of just relaxing and saying he'll either like me or he doesn't.
In emotion and psychotherapy, you're giving a very good illustration of why other directedness doesn't pay. Because if you really are defining yourself in terms of others' estimation of you, then even when you're ahead of the game and you're winning them, you have to be saying to yourself, will I win him today? Will I win him tomorrow? Will I keep winning him? And you're always focused on, am I doing the thing to please him? And you never are yourself. You never have a self. While if you're saying, what do I want to do in life? There must be some human beings who would like me the way I am. Let's see if this is one of those human beings. Then that's the only way, isn't it, that you can be. You see?
Yeah.
Now, we haven't got too much time now, so let's try to get it off on a constructive note of more concretely what you can do. You asked before where you can go, how you can meet new people. I'd say that, I don't know this particular area, but it's almost any place. If you could do what we are talking about, really take risks and focus on what you want out of life, and on the fact that it's going to take time, which unfortunately it does, and it is not awful, and you're not awful while it's taking that time, then you can leave yourself open unshyly to all kinds of new encounters. And these encounters can take place on buses, while waiting for a streetcar, if they have streetcars in this area, at cocktail parties, anywhere. You can talk to people who look eligible. You can ask your friends to get you eligible males, and so on. But the main thing is that you have to, A, like yourself while you're not doing badly, and B, not be intolerant against conditions which are bad. And I'm agreeing with you that they are. Now, as I said, I would give you, if you were a patient of mine, the homework assignment of deliberately, very deliberately going out and getting yourself into trouble. In other words, taking the most eligible males you can find at the moment and forcing yourself, risking yourself to be you.
Are you saying even if it were like if I went into a doctor's office to start a conversation with him because he was attractive to me or he appealed to me?
Right.
I'd even go so far as to starting out a conversation with him, a personal one?
Why not? If he's an eligible individual, any kind of an eligible individual.
Well, I feel you accept that, but that seems awfully brazen or something.
Well, let's suppose it is brazen. What have you got to lose? The worst he can do is reject you, and you don't have to reject you if you were thinking along the lines that we've been 25 minutes or so. You see?
Oh, yeah.
Now, can you try to do that?
I think so. It sort of gives me a spurt to go out and see you. You're right. That's all I can do is be rejected.
Right. And that leaves you intact. It just leaves you, unfortunately, not for the moment, getting what you want. So you try the one you've already read, and I'll be very interested in finding out what happens.
Oh, I'm excited about it.
Well, it was certainly very nice meeting you, Gloria.
Thank you, Doctor.